Hello, everyone. Let's get today's trading day started. Wednesday, the 28th of April. I am Boason Omofaye. A number of African markets were just coming back from the long Easter holiday weekend. On Tuesday, so the Nigerian bourse came in with about 0.1%, a little bit less, about 7 basis points, on the back of big gains and big trading activities in Guinness, Nigeria's MTN, the largest listed telco, a few other names such as Fidelity Bank and FBN Holdings. Quite a very active trading there, as it were. We added a couple of billions in local currency to the market cap. Look at the BRVM, better by 24 basis points. On the BRVM composite, quite a number of big names also on the uptick, like SICC and the bank, NSIA Bank, or on the BRVM. Then, of course, you're looking at the Egyptian market, down by nearly 1%. The Nairobi bourse fell by 63 basis points. The shares of Safaricom was the most actively traded on Tuesday. And on the GSE, the market eked out 0.61% gain. And that sums it up for the first trading day across a number of markets, with the exception of a few, such as the Egyptian exchange. So let's get on the news into the box. What's on my radar today? Starting as always from East African community, where the World Bank is telling Kenya that fuel subsidy is going to put further pressure on President Kenyatta's public finance. That's the problem with the whole Russia-Ukraine. The surging crude oil prices still highly elevated at triple digits, despite that about 5% average yesterday on the downside for the London Brent and the US West Texas Intermediate. Family Bank in Kenya is looking at an expansion across Africa, but is going to use capital raising as a way of doing that. It's keeping an eye on these bigger rivals such as KCB Group and Equity, which are advancing rapidly across the continent, all the way now into Central African republics such as the DR Congo. Stanbic Bank and Kenya's Chamber of Commerce and Industry is looking at a relationship that will help to support medium and small enterprises in East Africa's largest economy. Uganda, experts say it's time to have a substantive and a full-time governor of the central bank in that East African country. Keep that in mind. The EABC, which is the East Africa's Business Council, has raised alarm over rising air transport costs within the East African community. Let me take you straight from east to the west, where the World Bank IMF annual meeting, spring meetings, is currently going on. Yesterday, the IMF lowered global economic forecast to 3.6% for this year and next. That's much lower than the figure previously predicted by 6.1% a couple of months ago, because of the war in Ukraine, the overlapping crisis of the pandemic, which is not really over, with the full impact, and of course, inflation rearing its ugly head, and central banks around the world, led by the US, looking at interest rate hike. A whole lot of conundrum for policymakers and monetary policy authorities to focus on. ATAP says got about $1.5 million in pre-seed funding to expand its car insurance business across Africa. There's going to be a reward if you are a driver, you are under this insurance program, and you avoid accident. There's something in the box for you. Keep an eye on that. Private capital deals in Africa surged 118% last year to about $7.4 billion. And that's according to a new report just released by the Association of Venture Capitals in Africa. The venture capital says Africa is doing good when it comes to private investment. And Senegal has put pen to paper 4 deals with Islamic Development Bank worth about $390 million US dollars. And the BEAC, which is the common central bank for Central African countries, reported a budget surplus of 50 billion CFA franc for 2021. And Ghana, Ghanaian's currency, the cedi, is likely to end the year 2022 at about 7.87 to the US dollar. That's according to a report published by the Economic Intelligence Unit. Okay, so let's talk about Southern Africa, where President Ramaphosa's administration is hard-pressed right now for additional funds to support businesses and people and others, infrastructure and other things that were washed away, the havoc caused by torrential rainfall over the last few days. It's a whole lot of work, that the construction that needs to be done and to support businesses. In the meantime, RMB, the CEO of Rand Merchant Bank, has asked the South African authorities to consider waiving localization rules to allow renewable transition within the country. one of the largest, and Africa's largest metal company, ArcelorMittal, is looking at setting up 2 renewable energy plants in South Africa. That came in its corporate news yesterday, looking to that transition to around 2025 to begin to scale back on dirty fuel as source of energy for its mining activities across South Africa and across the continent. Namibia is headlining oil boom. The International Energy Conference is ongoing in the Southern African country, and experts are looking at the whole new discoveries that Namibia is bringing to the table, including renewables such as hydrogen. And Angola's inflation reportedly went up in the month of March to 27%. That's Africa's second largest oil producer. That's red hot, if you ask me. Okay, let's finish up in East Africa. Oh, sorry, North Africa, by the way, with the whole news around the economy. Afreximbank, which is headquartered in Cairo, Egypt, yesterday released its consolidated financial statement for 2021. Numbers really good. Total assets up about 18.4%, roughly $22 billion US. Net loans and advances climbed 11.5%. Profit came in 10.1%. The huge interventions that Afreximbank under President Rama did in 2021 across the continent. In the meantime, Libyan crude oil disruptions is contributing to the uptick, the volatility to the upside that we're seeing in oil prices since the start of the week. And the IMF is planning to talk with Tunisia on how to help the country deleverage its finances or cut its external or foreign debt. And Egypt's external debt was up nearly 6% for its country's second quarter 2021-2022 space. And Morocco and Saudi Arabia are in talks to deepen economic cooperation. You can use whatever cooperation you can get. No man is an island, and no country really is. And that's about it for today. That's your Frontier Opening Bell. Get your Wednesday up and running, everyone. Watch this show again on our YouTube at Frontier Africa Reports, or go on our website. We're streaming quite a whole lot of stories and news around the world on economy, business, and markets. News and information that are very important to getting a lot more about Africa. And of course, get on our social media, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram, as well as Facebook. I am Boason Omofaye. I'll see you next time. Have a great day, everyone.